If you and your spouse both claim Social Security at 62, you might be leaving over $100,000 on the table. No joke. And most couples have no idea they're doing it. Here's the thing about Social Security. Everybody treats it like a light switch. You hit 62, you're eligible, so you just claim it. Done. But if you're married, that decision isn't just about you. It's about two people, two benefit checks, and one household bank account. And the order you two claim in, that can be worth 6 figures over a retirement. So let's actually break this down, because there's a specific number that changes everything, and almost nobody talks about it the right way. First, full retirement age. As of this year, if you were born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67, not 65, not 66, 67. That's the age Social Security considers your standard benefit, the number on your statement. Now here's where people mess up. You can claim as early as 62, but claim at 62 and you're locking in a permanent 30% cut, not temporary, permanent, for the rest of your life. On the flip side, if you wait past your full retirement age all the way to 70, your benefit goes up by 24% above your standard amount. So between claiming at 62 versus waiting until 70, you're looking at a swing of over 50 percentage points on your monthly check. Same person, same work history, wildly different outcome just based on timing. Okay, so for a single person, that math's already pretty dramatic. But here's the twist. When you're married, it's not just your benefit in play, it's your spouse's too, and the two interact in a way most people never see coming. See, if you're married, you might be eligible for what's called a spousal benefit, up to 50% of your spouse's full retirement age benefit, not 50% of what they actually get paid, 50% of what they'd get at their own full retirement age, even if they delayed past that. And here's the kicker. Spousal benefits do not go up if you wait past your own full retirement age. Zero benefit to delaying that one. It caps out right at FRA. So the entire wait longer, get more strategy, that only applies to your own earned benefit, not the spousal one. So now you've got two totally different rules stacked on top of each other. Your own benefit rewards patience. The spousal benefit does not. Which means the real strategy isn't everybody wait or everybody claim early. It's about who in the relationship should do which. Here's how that typically plays out. Say one spouse earns significantly more over their career, higher earner, bigger benefit, and the other spouse earned less or maybe stepped away from work for a while. The math tends to favor the higher earner delaying as long as possible, ideally to 70, because that 24% bump applies to the bigger number, and because, this is huge, it also sets the ceiling for the survivor benefit down the road. If the higher earner passes away first, the surviving spouse can step up to receive up to 100% of what that higher earner was getting. So delaying isn't just boosting one paycheck, it's protecting whichever spouse outlives the other. Meanwhile, the lower earner claiming earlier can actually make sense, especially if the household needs income now, or if that spouse isn't working anymore. Their own reduced benefit can support the household while the higher earner's benefit keeps growing in the background. But, and this is where people trip up, there's something called deemed filing. If you're eligible for both your own retirement benefit and a spousal benefit, you can't just cherry-pick the bigger one and file for that alone. Filing for one can automatically trigger the other, and Social Security essentially gives you whichever's higher, not both stacked together. So this isn't a double-dip situation. You don't get your full benefit plus half of theirs. It's the larger of the two. There's also a piece people forget if they're still working while claiming early: the earnings test. If you claim before your full retirement age and you're still bringing in a paycheck, Social Security is going to withhold some of your benefit once you cross a certain earnings threshold. For this year, that threshold sits in the low 20s. Above that, they'll hold back $1 for every 2 you earn over the limit. If you're a high earner still working full-time and you claim at 64, you could end up with almost your entire benefit withheld. At that point, claiming early isn't really giving you extra income. It's basically the same as not having claimed at all. Now, here's some good news buried in that. Withheld benefits aren't gone forever. Once you hit full retirement age, Social Security recalculates your monthly amount to credit you back for those withheld months. So it's not a total loss, but it does mean claiming early while still working full-time rarely makes financial sense.
So put this all together for a married couple, and the strategy usually looks something like this. The lower earning spouse claims earlier if the household needs the income, while the higher earner holds off, ideally to 70, to lock in the biggest possible check and protect the surviving spouse down the line. It's not about both people doing the same thing. It's about coordinating two different timelines that serve one household. At the end of the day, Social Security isn't one decision. If you're married, it's two decisions that have to work together, and the order you make them in can be worth tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars over a retirement. If there's one thing to take from this, don't just look at your own number on your statement and call it a day. Pull up both of your numbers side by side and figure out which of you should wait. That single choice might be the most valuable financial decision you make this decade. And look, if this breakdown helped you see the bigger picture, do me a favor and hit that like button so this video can reach more couples who need to hear it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more straight-up, no-nonsense financial strategies, and I'll see you in the next one.